Hello, curious women. I'm here today to talk to you all about lesbian bed death. One of my viewers had sent in a message and asked, can you please talk about lesbian bed death and what it is and how do I make sure this does not happen to me? So that is what I'm going to talk about today. So for any of you that are coming out later in life and have not heard this term before, it is something that people do talk about, lesbian bed death. Basically, the idea is that when you get two women together, that over time, that the sex life is just going to evaporate, disappear, and essentially die. And two women together cannot sustain long-term sexual intimacy in an ongoing manner, right? And so lesbians have bed death. So what I want to say is couples have bed death. I don't think there's any proof that lesbians have any more bed death than straight couples. I work with many couples. I've worked with many couples who are no longer having sex, and they are not all lesbian couples. And I might even argue that straight couples have more bed death than lesbian couples because lesbians are quite adept at communicating. Most are anyway. And, if you can communicate and continue communicating, then, that is really a skill that helps in this area. So let's just dispel the myth that if you're with a woman and you are in a lesbian relationship, that eventually you're going to have bed death, right? Okay, that's number one. Number two is I just want to talk about this idea that people have, which is I met my person, I found my person, I'm going to be with this person forever, and now everything's just going to happen the way it should, and there's nothing more I need to do. We're going to just have this organic relationship, and everything's going to unfold, and they're going to know exactly what I need and what I want and what I expect. I don't need to tell them. I don't need to communicate because I found my person and my person knows everything I need and I want. Not true. Okay. When you find your person, that's amazing. I'm so excited for you. And they don't know exactly what you need and what you want or what you like or what you don't like. And I'm talking about in general and sexually. And maybe you also don't even know all the things that you like and don't like if you're coming out later. And maybe this is one of your first relationships. Communication is the key to everything. Do not assume you know what your partner likes. Ask them. Do not assume that your partner knows what you like. Tell them, right? Ask them to do things differently. Ask them to touch you the way you want to be touched. Ask them to, penetrate you the way you want to be penetrated or not be penetrated. Ask them to kiss you the way you want to be kissed. Ask them to caress you the way you want to be caressed, right? So this idea that people know exactly what we want and we never have to ask is not true. And the idea that talking about sex, after you have sex or before you have sex or in between your sexual encounters with one another, that talking about sex would kind of make sex less exciting somehow. It sort of like kills the mystery of it because now it's becoming this like topic that you actually even talk about. Talking about sex makes sex hotter, more hot, more sexy, right? So if you want to increase the overall excitement of your sex life, talk about your sex. Talk about it afterwards. Talk about what you liked. Talk about what you can't wait for next time, right? These are all ways to keep your sexual connection alive. Silence does not do that, right? Okay, so this goes for straight couples and lesbian couples. There is no difference. So I also want to say, a lot of the excitement when we first meet somebody sexually is about the mystery. I mean, sexually and in every way, right? Here's this person, we feel so connected, we feel so turned on, but we also don't know them very well. There's so much to discover, so much to uncover, right? It's really exciting. And so you're constantly in this state of just like, oh God, all these new feelings, and they feel amazing. That's fantastic. Enjoy every second of that. Typically, at about the 2-year mark of a relationship, you've exited the honeymoon phase and you know each other more. You've experienced more time and more life together. You've seen each other through some ups and downs. You've seen some things in each other that you didn't know in the first 3 months, right? And for some couples, along with this can come less sexual desire, like without the mystery, without just like not really knowing the person, and with familiarity, right? You know what they like, right? There can be, for some couples, not for all, but there can be a little bit of a lull in the drive, in the desire to continue to be sexual. So in this case, what happens a lot with couples is they start to point at one another. She's not working out. She stopped taking care of herself. She's not eating well. She's not doing anything to turn me on. She's not initiating. She's not wearing those sexy jeans I love, whatever it is. So what I want to tell you is, if you are in this place where you have a lull, right, which is also normal, right? Life happens. There are stressors from outside life that happen at all times. So health, illness, aging parents, children, whatever it is, things happen. But I'm not talking about those outside stressors. I'm talking about just everyday normal life, and there's a lull. And you've noticed it. What can you do? Don't point at your partner and say they're not turning you on, right? That is not a way to reignite any kind of desire in your relationship. You're going to look at yourself and you're going to ask yourself, what are you doing to create desire in the relationship between you and your partner? Are you exercising? If you are not exercising, you need to be exercising, and you need to be exercising 3 times a week. What does that mean? I can't get to the gym. I don't have time. Okay, then walk. Go for long walks, or go for walks around your neighborhood, go for quick walks, whatever it is you need to do, you need to be moving, okay? What else can you do? You can interact with the world around you and learn new things, get out into the world, have new experiences, learn something new, get involved in pottery, or a new exercise class, or a new art exhibit that you love, or a really cool film, or whatever it is. Get involved with things outside of the home that you can then bring back into the relationship to feed the relationship, right? Relationships need to be fed and nourished with information that you bring in from the outside, that then has your partner looking at you as this really cool person that inspires them. The way you move around the world inspires them. The new things you're bringing back in to feed the relationship with inspires them, and it creates desire. These are ways to create some desire. Each individual can go out into the world, come back, and bring information in to feed the relationship, right? So that's another way, when there's a lull, to start to feed the relationship in a way that it needs. Also, you can make a decision to have no sex for a period of time. And that includes no touching of any kind. So, and maybe not even seeing each other naked. So if you're going to be around each other and you're getting dressed, go in the bathroom, or if you're, you could see each other in your underwear and your bra, but no walking around naked, right? Something to create some tension between you and your partner. If you do this for 30 days and you do not touch each other and you exercise and you get out into the world and you're interacting with the world and having new experiences and bringing them back into the relationship after 30 days of not having any sex and having taken that off the table, I can pretty much assure you that you are going to have created some mystery and tension in the relationship to feed that desire. So these are ways to reignite desire when there are lulls, right? Again, so if you're afraid of lesbian bed death or any kind of relationship bed death, these are things you can do. Look at yourself. Don't point at your partner. And lesbian bed death is no different than couple bed death. It happens for couples. It happens for lesbians. It happens for gay couples. It can happen for any couple if you are not feeding and nourishing your relationship with the things that it needs to stay alive, right? So keep tuning into yourself. Feel free to reach out, ask questions. I love answering your questions. If you have not signed up for my free 3-part mini course on breaking free from compulsory heterosexuality, just click the link below. You will get that and learn a little bit about compulsory heterosexuality and how to break free. Keep tuning in, stay curious, and I will see you next time.